Welcome to The Explainer. I'm genuinely so glad you're joining us today because we are going to explore something literally mind-bending. Usually, when we talk about productivity or finding deep focus in a crazy professional environment, we immediately look to time-blocking apps, endless to-do lists, or some shiny new calendar hack. But what if one of the absolute best tools for cultivating mindfulness during your workday actually comes from the moment you wake up from a dream? Today, we're diving into the waking echo of the lucid mind. Let's unpack this source material and see how the intense awareness found in lucid dreaming can just completely upgrade the way you work and live.
So how do these experiences actually change your waking life? Take a second and really think about that. When you have a lucid dream, that incredible spark where you suddenly realize, wait a minute, I'm dreaming, and you become totally conscious, you get this profound hit of clarity. You might face down a fear, discover some wild symbol, or just feel total mental freedom. But our source text challenges us to look way beyond just the sleep cycle. The real magic? That happens when we figure out how that hyper-aware state can actually serve as a practical productivity tool right in the middle of a Wednesday afternoon slump, or right before you step into a high-stakes meeting.
Section 1. The Waking Echo and Softening the Line. The source material points out a super fascinating truth. Lucid dreaming doesn't just magically shut off when your alarm rings. It leaves behind what it calls a waking echo. It's basically a lingering awareness that shifts how you operate. Think about dreaming awareness for a second, that active process of facing fears or discovering symbols while you're asleep. Now put that right up against waking awareness, which is noticing your own thoughts clearly and feeling your emotions honestly. The text makes a massive point here. The more conscious you become inside your dreams, the more conscious you become in your everyday ordinary moments. It's like a gym for your mind. Becoming intensely aware in a dream literally trains your brain to be profoundly conscious during those demanding work moments. You stop just coasting through your meetings on autopilot and actually start truly engaging.
Slowly, that hard boundary between dreaming awareness and waking awareness starts to blur. The line softens, but, and this is absolutely crucial, reality doesn't disappear, awareness deepens. Actually, let me emphasize that. This is absolutely not about losing touch with reality, completely zoning out at your desk, or escaping into some daytime fantasy. It's the exact opposite. It's about deepening your soft awareness so you can actually handle the loud, chaotic noise of the day. The endless notifications, the urgent emails, those crazy shifting deadlines. You handle the whole shebang with a calm, centered, and highly effective mind.
Section 2. Questioning automatic patterns. Okay, here's where this philosophy becomes a real game changer for your productivity. When we get stressed out at work, we almost always snap right into an automatic, reactive autopilot. But by bringing that dream-level consciousness into your waking hours, we start noticing things super clearly. Our thoughts, our emotions, our habits, and our reactions. Let's look at a real-world example. Say you get a really critical email from a client. Your automatic habit is probably a huge spike in anxiety. Maybe your chest tightens up and you instantly draft a defensive reply. But if you're practicing this soft awareness, you catch that physical reaction in real time. Because you noticed it, you can actually swap out that automatic thought pattern of, I need to defend myself right now, with a conscious choice. You say, okay, I'm going to take a breath, look at the data, and respond professionally in 10 minutes. That right there, that is the absolute power of noticing clearly.
Consider this really profound observation from the text. Dreams often reveal what waking life tries to hide beneath distraction. Man, that is incredibly relevant to our workday, isn't it? Because let's be honest, a typical workday is basically just one giant 8 to 10 hour distraction. All that constant motion and busyness acts like a heavy blanket, hiding the exact automatic patterns, the inefficiencies, and the stressors that we desperately need to spot if we want to improve. But once you start listening to that waking echo, you bring that deep understanding with you, and it cuts right through the daily grind like a hot knife through butter.
So what's the actual tangible result of all this heightened awareness in the workplace? Well, you'll start finding yourself pausing more often, breathing consciously, questioning those automatic patterns we just talked about. And this one's a biggie, understanding yourself more gently. I really want to stress that last point. Beating yourself up over a mistake at work, that just drains your focus and totally kills your productivity. Understanding yourself gently, on the other hand, lets you just acknowledge the error, course correct, and keep your deep focus intact even when things are totally chaotic around you. These gentle little actions are literally your best shield against workday burnout.
Section 3. The Morning Pause.
So how do we actually build this muscle? The source text gives us a highly practical, concrete morning routine. Step 1, Do not rush into the noise. Step 2, pause and reflect quietly. Step 3, ask yourself specific questions. Honestly, the absolute most crucial part is right there in step 1. When you wake up, especially if you're coming out of a vivid or lucid dream, do not, I repeat, do not immediately reach for your phone. Don't open Slack, don't check your email. Refusing to dive headfirst into the noise of the day is literally the single most important thing you can do to build a foundation for lasting focus. You're actively claiming those first moments of the day for your own awareness, instead of just handing them over to someone else's agenda.
And during that quiet little pause, here are the specific questions the text tells us to ask. What did this dream make me feel? What did it show me about myself? And what awareness can I carry into waking life? You really don't need a fancy dream journal or like an hour of deep meditation. You just need 2 minutes to ask yourself these things. They act as this incredible bridge. They take the raw, unfiltered insight from your sleeping mind and package it right into a functional daytime application. You are literally pulling clarity straight from your sleep to fuel your professional focus. How cool is that?
Section 4. The real transformation.
When you start implementing this morning pause and actually noticing your daytime habits, something fundamental really begins to shift. And we have to remind ourselves, the ultimate purpose here isn't about escaping into some fantasy dream world. The true purpose boils down to 3 core pillars: understanding, awareness, and connection. When you operate from a place of deep, soft awareness, you naturally understand your projects and your colleagues so much better. You're fully aware of the big picture strategic landscape, not just the tedious busy work right in front of your face. And you foster genuine connection with your team because you are actually present in the room with them, not just running on some stressed out autopilot. This is exactly what makes you a grounded, reflective, and highly effective professional.
I want to wrap up our explainer today with this final, amazing thought from the text. Perhaps the real transformation happens when the awareness you discovered there begins gently changing the way you live after you wake up. Let's just sit with that for a second. The entire goal of all this insight, all this reflection, is 100% about what you do after your feet hit the floor. So as you head into your next big meeting today, or sit down to tackle a massive project, I've got a challenge for you. How are you going to use this soft awareness to change the way you work today? Thank you so much for exploring this with me, and I really hope you carry this profound clarity into the rest of your day.